Before there was a franchise, there was a farm. Dick Hunter taught the bottom line: show up, work hard, and take care of your people. That's the culture that moved from Oil Springs to Center Ice.
Basically, Dick raised boys and girls, but he raised boys to play hockey. He understood the game very well. Dick was probably the one that instilled the work ethic in his boys with regards to the farm in Oil Springs.
Dick led the charge in helping them and directing them and giving them some insight in being the people they are today.
Winning isn't just a stat, it's a standard in London. Consistency on the ice drives consistency on a successful franchise.
You win a Memorial Cup or you're in the Memorial Cup, and usually the next year you're rebuilding and you may have an off year, and they haven't done that. And so that's the consistency that the team has had, which equates to the consistency in terms of the sponsorships and the ticket sales, right? I mean, those are the two big things in terms of driving the revenue for a business. They've every year keep raising the bar.
They didn't wait for fans to come to them. They brought the Knights to the community and turned first-timers into lifers.
From a marketing standpoint, they had really established or started to establish a brand, and it was trying to figure out how do you continue to grow that brand. There's only so many seats inside of an arena, and they were pretty popular at that point, so a ticket was a little bit harder to get, but it was about combating the idea that it was impossible to get a ticket. It wasn't impossible, there were ways, and so through a lot of community programs, we found ways to get new ticket holders into the doors in hopes that you can make them a fan and make them a fan for life, and then they want to become a season ticket holder down the line. So we really tried to look at different ways, whether it be through school visits, through community appearances, autograph signings, partnerships with corporate sponsors, trying to do all we could to get the brand out in the community and have it become even more established than it was.
Off the ice, they played smart in the corners. Fair deals, disciplined costs, and partners who win with them.
Early on, before we even got here, they, working on a lease for the building, they told us that they're going to put a winner in here. They're going to bring people in, and they're going to have a successful hockey franchise. And we didn't know them. They didn't know us. And 20-some years later, I think they've done exactly what they said they were going to do. They always were looking for ways to, with our lease agreement, they got to pay for certain things, and they're always looking for ways to save a buck. We had a bit of knowledge of how to do things on the business side, maybe, if you will. So it was a bit of a dance, trying to help them keep their costs down. I think it was Mark that once said to me, it's like, if we have a deal, it's one lopsided one way or the other. If it's lopsided towards your favor, we're going to be complaining the whole time. And if it's lopsided the other way, the building's going to be complaining the whole time and crying that we need breaks and this and that. So it's got to be fair. It's got to, both sides got to got to be profitable. And I think we've done that.
Their edge is simple: miles on the odometer, hours on the tape, relationships that compound.
And for most of these hockey players that come through the door, this is their first taste of the sports business. And so for Mark and Dale, the dedicated hours that they put into scouting the players, drafting them, and developing the talent, to the time that they put into, schmoozing or talking to sponsors and creating a brand for themselves in the community, that translates to the success year in and year out. And without that dedication, I don't think the London Knights would be where they are today.
Put the puck deep. Let the whole city forecheck. Big nights fill restaurants, hotels, and hearts. And when the stakes rise, the Hunters shoulder the risk for London.
Mark and Dale have graciously hosted the Memorial Cup twice in London, actually within their first 14 or 15 years of owning the team, which with 60 teams or more in the CHL, that's really unheard of to host it that frequently. And the impact of an event like that economically on the city of London is tremendous. It's heads in beds, as we say in the tourism industry, of filling hotel rooms. It's filling restaurants during the day and in the evenings. It's having shops and walkable areas in the downtown. It's contributing to the revitalization of our core. And I think it's really important that when you look at the successes that they've had, they are the ones that put up the money to be able to host that event.
And inject 9,000 people into a downtown core like the London Knights Hockey Club has done, then you're going to build up the downtown business as well.
When the Knights score, London wins with them. The Hunters turn game night energy into real impact, channeling loyalty at the rink into help where it's needed most.
Mark had a strong desire to give back to the community, and certainly with the foundation and the 50-50 money coming into the foundation, we've been fortunate enough to put $4.6 million since 2019 back into the London community.
The franchise is a family story, written by parents, siblings, children, and the people who chose to stay and build together. That's the Hunter way.
Basically, you have a look at the family and the family that's been involved with building this organization. And there's very strong family values in the Hunter family.
It's really important, I think, to understand that how selfless they can be. They really are when they think about and put others before them. Mostly those that they call their family, their sponsors, their players, their families, all of that.
From Oil Springs to Center Ice, Mark and Dale built a franchise the farm way. Work hard, be fair, lift your community. That's leadership on every shift. Congratulations to Mark and Dale Hunter on becoming members of the London and District Business Hall of Fame.